Winning this tournament is extremely important for me. I've sacrificed a lot to get to this point.
Ich habe gesagt, das ist für mich das wichtigste Kampf. Das Ende meines Super Six-Turniers. Wenn ich da verliere, fliege ich raus.
They really underestimated Andre Ward's toughness. They're in there with a real champion tonight in the show.
He can't do nothing with you.
People say what they're gonna say. When I'm physical, I'm dirty. And when I box, I'm not physical enough. That tells me, just fight my fight.
Das gehört zu seiner Taktik. Kopfschuss. Auch gehört zu seiner Taktik. Das ist Boxen, das gehört alles zum Boxen.
And he's got that fire in his eyes.
I want to win this tournament.
I think Arthur Abraham is a beast.
Abraham looking for the home run.
He's desperate, but he knows his career is hanging in the balance here.
Das ist meine letzte Chance.
I hope it's a war. I hope it's a war every round. I really want that trophy.
Well, fans, the time has come for the Super 6 World Boxing Classic semifinals. And now, please welcome to the ring the tournament number 4 seed from Germany, introducing King Arthur Abraham.
King Arthur Abraham entering the ring, and in his last Super 6 fight, Abraham turned in the worst performance of his career. He was totally outclassed by Carl Froch. He refused to open up and move his hands, and he's vowed that you'll see a totally different King Arthur tonight in this fight.
You know, Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward, has said that for Abraham, he has to take chances tonight that he's never taken before, and that, of course, creates issues for him, but he has to do it, and it could create dangers for him as well in the ring.
Well, you know, I think that Arthur Abraham has a champion inside of him, and I think he's going to make the total adjustments tonight in order to give himself the very best chance at a major upset tonight.
And you talked to him in our fighter meetings yesterday, Antonio, and you really grilled him about laying it all on the line.
And you can see as he walks into this ring tonight, he looks focused. I think we're going to see a different Arthur Abraham. His style also was compromised against the tall, long, rangy fighters. Let's see if he made those necessary changes.
You know, he's got a little crowd support here, too, a big Armenian contingent. You see them, so he's got some fans for him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the tournament number 1 seed from the United States, introducing Andre S.O.G. Ward.
The WBA champion, Andre Ward. He is the Super 6 leader, and he is ready to defend his title for the 3rd time. He is supremely confident that he will continue to show great growth and have a spectacular night tonight against Abraham.
I think the most salient point about Andre Ward is one that we referenced earlier. Not lost since he was 12 years old, and that includes nearly 100 amateur fights since that time and 23 professional fights, the Olympics, a world championship. He just doesn't know how to do anything but win.
That's an impressive record in anybody's measurements. But Andre Ward, winning is just not enough. He wants to be a star, and he's looking for that breakout performance. Let's see if we get that tonight, Al.
Yep.
Andre Ward, the champion, versus Arthur Abraham for the WBA Super Middleweight World title and a spot in the finals of the Super 6 World Boxing Championship. Now let's take a look at the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape.
Even though Arthur Abraham has a 1-inch reach advantage, don't be deceived by that. He is a short, small 168-pounders, and the height and length of Ward will give him a problem.
And the rules for tonight.
These are rules that will govern the state of California, so one subtle difference. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Now here the referee or doctor can stop the fight. Fighter can't be saved by the bell in any round, and of course, if there's a clash of heads, it would cause the fight to be stopped before the end of round 4. It would be a no decision. After that, they would go to the scorecards.
And we are for Andre Ward versus Arthur Abraham for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship and a place in the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Final. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Home Depot Center here in Carson, California for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Goose & Tudor Promotions, Antonio Leonard Productions, and Sauerland Event in association with Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina, and Showtime. This championship bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association. The president, Gilberto Mendoza, supervisor is Robert Mack, along with the California State Athletic Commission. The chairman is John Frierson, executive officer George Dodd. Introducing to you our physicians at ringside, Dr. Eddie Ayub and Dr. Perlman Hicks. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, we have Willie Ariola and John Lichty. Introducing our three judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Germany, Ingo Barabbas. From South Africa, Stanley Christodoulou. And from the United States, Dr. James Jenkin. Introducing our third man in the ring, our referee from Puerto Rico, Luis Pabon. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the Super 6 World Boxing Classic semifinals and the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Carson, California, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing maroon trunks with black trim, fighting out of Berlin, Germany, by way of Armenia. He weighed in at 167 pounds with a record of 32 wins, 2 losses. He has 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the challenger, currently ranked the WBA number 3 world super middleweight contender. Please welcome the hard-hitting, former long-time IBF middleweight champion of the world, introducing King Arthur Abraham. Across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, wearing red trunks with white trim, the Bay Area kid and boxing's pride of Oakland, California. He weighed in at the super middleweight limit of 168 pounds. His record, 23 wins, no losses, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making the third defense of his title, please welcome the U.S. representative and winner of the 2004 Olympic gold medal. Here is the undefeated WBA super middleweight champion of the world, introducing Andre S.O.G. Ward. Once again, our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Luis Pabon.
Okay, one. First one, come on, let's go. Hold down, okay, calm down. Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. Let's have a clean match, okay? Good luck, and God bless you.
Andre Ward, Arthur Abraham for the WBA Super Middleweight World title and a place in the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Final. For Arthur Abraham, his father told him, it's like war, march forward and fire first, because if you go backwards, you'll be shot. For Andre Ward, he said, they still underestimate me, both my opponents and critics. If I'm patient tonight, I knock Abraham out, something that's never happened. Round one.
Now there's something you don't see every day. Arthur Abraham moving forward in the first 15 seconds of a fight.
And you know what, Al? It's very important to see how he came out.
Yep.
I see a man that's focused and determined right now, and this makes for a great, great fight.
Yeah, we hope so. And you're right. That was good body language early for Abraham.
Andre Ward slipping in the center of the ring.
The Abraham jab, which is often underused, could be a very important weapon for him tonight. He needs to use it, and early on he's thrown it several times very well.
Arthur Abraham telling us when we asked him, what is Andre Ward's weakness? He said, the chin. He has no chin.
Well, that's a bold statement. Darnell Boone did knock Ward down in 2005, but that's the only time he's been down. So maybe a slight overstatement, but Abraham's a big puncher, so he hopes to test that chin.
Abraham coming in, landing that looping right hand. Now he'll back off.
Ward's camp said it's very important for him to go to the body. They think Abraham can be hurt to the body, so we'll see how well he does in the first few rounds with that.
I'll tell you one thing that I'm noticing, that Abraham has that tight peekaboo defense, and it seems like there's really no opening for Andre right now.
Well, and that was always his strength, but when he's coming forward, that defense works a little better when he's just languishing on the ropes.
Abraham trying to get closer. Misses a wild right hand. And Ward goes right back down to the midsection with the jab. That's something we saw Carl Froch do as well.
We've probably seen more punches from Arthur Abraham here in round one than we did in about 6 or 7 rounds against Froch.
Abraham telling us against Froch, I didn't do anything. I don't know why. I wasn't there. There was no fight for me. He did have an automatic advancement to the next round as he throws the lead left hook. So that may have taken away some of his motivation when he went into the ring with Carl Froch. And that's the end of the first round. And a very interesting one. Let's go to the keys for victory for tonight's fight.
For Arthur Abraham, we said he had to take some chances, and he has already done that, moving ahead and moving forward and with a good defense. And that brings me to the next key. Still be Arthur. He's still got that defense that Antonio talked about as he moves forward. The big left hook. He's tried some big right hands, but the left hook might be his power ticket in this fight. And for Andre Ward, I'd like him to see work outside, but you know he's going to go inside, so he's got to do both, but not get caught in the mid-range. And he's got to counter effectively as Abraham is coming in. And finally, do not press for the KO. It should come organically for him.
We're in Carson, California, the Home Depot Center, about 10 miles outside of downtown Los Angeles. Cool night, 61 degrees, cloudy. How does fighting outdoors affect these men?
Well, right now, they're both, adrenaline is flowing. They're not going to really see the difference. It's cool out here, so it might relax them and cool them off a little bit.
And Arthur Abraham once again going forward.
And Ward starting out punching more aggressively here in this round.
Arthur Abraham, gentlemen, is the kind of fighter that he'll wait to set up the one big shot.
Yeah, but with this body motion tonight, it doesn't seem like he want to wait. He wants to be in this fight from beginning to end, and that's really good for the fans out there.
Abraham 32-2 with 26 KOs.
Well, Abraham pointed out that he can't fight his old style very well at 168 and lay back and try and land that one punch because these 168-pounders have longer arms than the middleweights do. And there's the combination punching award, even though everything didn't land.
And Arthur Abraham has been successful with the good hard jab. That was a good body punch.
And Ward comes right back, hits him low.
And that one was low. Now, Arthur Abraham's been known to complain about low blows when they didn't happen, but that one was low. And we saw Ward switch to lefty for a moment, which, if you've never seen Ward fight, he does frequently.
He's a natural left-hander. Oh, beautiful. Stiff jab by Ward. He's a natural left-hander. He writes with his left hand, throws a baseball with his right hand. Virgil turned him over to orthodox early in his career, and he wished he would have stayed as a southpaw, Antonio.
Well, you know, southpaws have advantages. You know, I myself was a converted fighter. When I first started, I taught myself southpaw, and it really helped me in the amateurs as well as the pro.
Now Ward working his way inside. Abraham, wide punches, the right hook landing to the body.
So far, Ward he has gone to the body some early in this fight. Now, Luis Pabon, the referee, big issue about not having a California referee. He's from Puerto Rico. Boy, I could feel the air from that one.
The left foot landed. I mean, I want to know who fight this benefit if this thing really get rough in there, rough and tough.
Well, they're both rough fighters, and they both have been known to bend the rules from time to time.
Now Abraham trying to put his punches together, most of them just landing on the gloves of Andre Ward, who has tight defense. Now Ward doubles up his jab. Abraham trying to make a little brawl out of it in the second round, and you like the way Arthur Abraham is coming out fighting, especially after that disappointing performance against Carl Fry.
Now, Andre Ward was able to use his height and length with these. Well, there's Abraham jabbing, but it's the good counter jab by Andre Ward. He's using his jab out there as a good measuring stick. And then this is where, as a lefty, he will throw a straight left that was just a bit underneath the belt, and Arthur Abraham complaining. And then this will be a warning to Abraham for holding Andre Ward. And Ward, meanwhile, snuck in a little low blow in there. So trust me, both of these fighters understand how to get just slightly beyond the Marcus of Queensberry rules. They're pretty good at it.
Arthur Abraham, Andre Ward fighting for a place in the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Final. Ward in the red trunks, and Arthur Abraham in the burgundy and black. This also for the WBA Super Middleweight World title held by Andre Ward. He's making his third defense of the title.
I'll tell you what, Gus, if anybody questioned what Arthur Abraham will show up tonight coming off of 2 tough losses, I think the very best Arthur Abraham has showed up tonight to put himself back in contention for the trophy.
And remember, it's a different Arthur Abraham. He just doesn't fight this way normally. He isn't coming forward, so he's had to change and alter himself, and he's having some success with it.
And he told us that he had no choice. Beautiful stiff jab by Arthur Abraham, and that backed up Andre Ward, and he felt it. Oh, and Ward comes back with his own raking jab. Let's take a look at the total punches.
You know, that's revealing, because for Arthur Abraham to have thrown one more punch than Ward at this juncture in the fight speaks well for him. And these are close rounds, make no mistake about it, but it's just that certainly after his last effort, you have to feel good that Abraham is making this a competitive and interesting fight.
Arthur Abraham is the kind of fighter. Up jab lands for Abraham. Arthur Abraham is the kind of fighter that gets better and better normally as the fight goes on.
And that was a nice sneaky move he did. He showed him the right hand, and he stuck a hard, stiff jab in there on Andre Ward. And
right up lands for Abraham.
On top of the head, that was a blind shot.
And now Ward backing up. That may have hurt him.
You know, Ward hoped that he could shatter Abraham's confidence early by hitting with big punches, but he hasn't done it.
Abraham with the electricity in that right hand. He'll throw it right cross. He'll throw a can opener as well, and he'll swing for the fences. Here's a man that at a young age saw Mike Tyson fight. He was inspired by his power and then decided to become a boxer, leaving his bicycling days behind him.
Andre Ward has always responded to adversity. He got cut against Edison Miranda very early in the fight. Right now he's facing a little adversity. He's been rocked with a couple punches. He's got a man in front of him who's fighting better than he has before. See how Andre responds.
Coming to the end of the third round, scheduled for 12 for the WBA Super Middleweight World Title and a place in the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Final. And it's been interesting from the beginning.
Arthur Abraham has an underused jab. It's a strong jab. It's a power jab. When he throws it, it's very effective, and that was a beauty against Andre Ward. Now, Ward trying to get through that peekaboo defense of Arthur Abraham. Andre Durrell, Ward's mate from the amateur days, did it very well, and so did Froch. Ward's having a little bit more of a problem with that. And here's one of the best shots of the fight, a right hand just around the ear on Ward.
And what happens when a fighter is hit flush on the ear, Antonio?
You know what? It's a dangerous punch because you don't see it, and it really takes your equilibrium, and it's hard to recover from a punch like that. I mean, Arthur Abraham has to feel good about where he's at in this fight going into round 4.
Arthur Abraham, the challenger, in the burgundy and black. Andre Ward, the champion, in red. This for the WBA Super Middleweight World Title. 12 rounds of boxing here in Carson, California. The winner to advance to the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Final. And that fighter will take on the winner of Glenn Johnson, Carl Froch. That'll take place here on Showtime June 4th from Atlantic City.
The component that's missing from Andre Ward is, you see him throwing those jabs, some are getting through that defense of Abraham, but that right hand that curls around the guard of Abraham that Durrell landed and Froch landed hasn't been there yet for Ward. But Ward's having a very good beginning to round number 4. And the power punch is a dramatic edge for Arthur Abraham, both in numbers thrown and landed.
Now Ward backs Abraham up on the ropes, throws the right hook, left hand, blocked by Abraham.
Abraham's thrown nothing in this round, so this is a round he's kind of ceding to Andre Ward unless he can land something impressive.
Ward has been jabbing to the body since the opening round. He told us he wants to go to Arthur Abraham's body because the king doesn't like it to the body, and often he complains when he gets hit.
Oh, wow.
Two-punch combination.
He must have heard you, Gus.
It's been a very good round for Andre Ward. And even though some punches have been blocked by Abraham, he's gotten through with those body shots and also some good shots to the head.
I'm here all the time.
And this is what Arthur Abraham, the knock on him is that it's been too many rounds like this,
yes,
where he just takes off and he really does nothing. And it's easy to score this round for Andre Ward.
Yeah, absolutely. There were some of those rounds even against Jermaine Taylor where you had to score the round for Taylor even though he didn't win the fight.
And Al, you would like to see Arthur Abraham use his jab to get in.
That's the key. And when he's used it in this fight, he's been much more effective. That's not the way to attack for Arthur Abraham.
But you got to give him a point for effort right now because he's trying.
Yep. Ward is very sharp in this round, though.
Ward hooking off the jab, now letting his hands go.
You cannot keep the pace, okay? Breathe deep for me in between the sets, okay?
Andre Ward showing us the hand speed. There's the body punching that he so much wanted to do in this fight. And his hand speed and his combinations in that round were very, very impressive. And things got a little bit rough in there. On the inside, Pabon trying to break them and Ward punching. I think Louis Pabon broke them too soon, and I think Andre Ward should have been allowed to attack.
Looks like Andre Ward has a scrape under his left eye as we start the fifth. Ward in red, the champion. Abraham in burgundy, the challenger. Nice hook off the jab. Then he goes downstairs with the jab.
Yeah, he looks beautiful right now, working up and down, letting his hands go. And like I mentioned before, sometimes stars are born, they're not made. It's take a fight like this to really show what Andre Ward is all about.
And a look at the press row scoring.
Doug Fisher's Ring Magazine, Lance Pugmire of the LA Times having a draw. Gunnar Meinhardt, interestingly from Germany, from the Die Welt newspaper, has it for Ward by 2 points.
I have it 38-38
As do I.
That jab to the body, Antonio, is that a gas guzzler?
Oh man, that takes it out to you every time, man. Floyd Mayweather uses it very well, and Andre Ward uses it very well. Up and down, keep him off balance.
Now Andre Ward really just letting that jab go. Right hook to the body.
Arthur Abraham's in danger here, even though the fight is obviously a very close fight, of letting the momentum completely swing to Andre Ward, because he's just been very passive in these last couple of rounds.
Yeah, you know, he's been aggressive, but the first 2 rounds, it was effective aggressiveness. The last 2 rounds, it was just aggressive, and you don't get points for that.
Yeah, just moving forward.
Another stiff jab by Ward. That backs up Abraham. May have hurt him a bit. Ironically, Abraham is the shorter fighter, but he has a longer reach.
Yeah, he's got a 1-inch reach advantage against Andre Ward, but you can see Ward, you know, he fights as a longer fighter, he fights better. And this is part of what Abraham said about his old style of just trying to look for the one punch when he comes out of that defensive shell. These guys have longer reach, longer height, and he can't do it. That was a good hook by Abraham.
And it got in, and both fighters being broken up. Andre Ward with a sneaky hook. Ward will fight you dirty. He did it in his last fight against Beacom. Beacom fought him the same way, as Ward won a unanimous decision. It was rough and tumble when he took the title from Mikkel Kessler. Kessler cut over both eyes. He brutalized Alan Green in Oakland. Fought him inside the whole fight. Michael Massing is our translator tonight in Arthur Abraham's corner.
Man, just keep that name, man.
Arthur, it's not enough. Arthur, he's afraid. Stay in the middle and attack him. Come on, Arthur. Arthur, listen to me. You have to put more pressure on him.
Stay alert, right? Stay focused.
This is the semifinal of the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. The winner to advance to the final, where he will take on the winner of Carl Froch versus Glenn Johnson. This is also the WBA Super Middleweight World title. where the champion, Andre Ward, is in red, and the challenger, Arthur Abraham, is in burgundy. No knockdowns in this fight so far.
Andre Ward was told in his corner to go to the body and then at some point in this round to switch to southpaw. We'll see if he does that. He's been effective as a righty early in this round. There's two misnomers about these fighters. One is people think Arthur Abraham's really serious. He's actually got a great sense of humor. He's a very clever guy. And some people think Andre Ward is not charismatic. Listen, he was at one of my stage shows in one of the casinos recently, and he wowed the crowd. He charmed them to death. And I'll tell you what, he's a very charismatic guy when he gets things going.
One thing we're seeing from Andre Ward tonight, it's something that you talked about him in our fighter meetings, with him rather in our fighter meetings yesterday, that he needs to be more of a boxer and not a brawler like we saw against Kessler, like we saw against Alan Green as Abraham comes back on. But that's what you're seeing tonight from Andre Ward, his superior boxing skill.
Oh yeah, the man can box. He's an Olympic gold medalist. But you know, he has to be versatile. And right now, I was wondering what he was going to do and how he was going to be able to break Arthur down. And he's done that behind a really good, strong, stiff jab.
And those wide punches from Abraham when he attacks are leaving opportunities for Andre Ward.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to shorten up with his punches.
Yep.
Andre Ward throws that right hook behind the elbow. That hurts. He told us that he watched the Carl Froch fight, and he felt that it was a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, Carl Froch did fight a masterpiece against Arthur Abraham. But, you know, like I said, Arthur is in this fight, and Andre Ward is doing very well at this particular time.
Abraham going back into his shell, not letting his hands go. Ward, however, the jab is like a whip now. He's also finding his rhythm.
There he goes to lefty.
20 seconds remaining in the sixth. Scheduled for 12. Abraham breathing out of his mouth. He's tired. Now inside NASCAR, the fastest half hour on television is new episodes every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and an encore presentation following our show tonight.
And this week's fight is going to be an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the fight between Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. They may be challenging you in the cruiserweight division sometime soon. And this one has been a fight, and I'll tell you, both men have done some very good body work. Now there's Abraham working downstairs in a round in which this was his best moment. The rest of the round was pretty much owned by Andre Ward. Ward using the jab, and a good assortment of punches. That's how you get through that peekaboo defense, by throwing combinations and throwing a variety of punches.
And we're at the halfway point in this WBA title fight between the challenger, King Arthur Abraham of Germany, and Andre Ward from Oakland, California, the champion, in red.
Arthur Abraham.
Now Ward putting them together. You are right. We're seeing the combination punching from the champion.
Oh yeah, very crisp, fast combination punching. That's what gets the job done.
And after that last round, Abraham looked exhausted. He went over and was hanging on the ropes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on, Alan. That was from those vicious body shots that Andre Ward has been landing throughout this fight.
Ward doubling up the jab and stepping off the line on his toes.
I think this fight really started to change when Abraham stopped using his jab as he was walking in. That punch was helping to set up everything else, and he hasn't thrown it much in the last 4 rounds.
Unofficially on press row.
That's exactly how I have the fight scored. Doug Fisher from Ring Magazine, Gunnar Meinhardt from Die Welt, and Lance Pugmire from the LA Times, all pretty much the same.
Yeah, I gave Ward the last 3 rounds. He's pulling away.
Ward trying to land that sneaky little uppercut off the jab to get through the defense. Hooking. His hands look so fluid tonight.
And right now he's not worried about Abraham coming out of there with that big punch. Now, of course, that's the time Abraham's dangerous because he will uncoil from that shell defense, but he hasn't been able to do it for the last 3 or 4 rounds.
Right now, you see the champ working, and the key thing here is distance. He's right on the end of his punches. He's letting those combinations go. The uppercut you can't cover up. I don't care if you're in a pick-and-boo style. There's always an opening up the middle.
Yeah, you make that point, and it's absolutely true.
Andre Ward taking a page out of Carl Froch's book. This is how he fought Abraham, and now Abraham, who is starting to look more like a barroom brawler that has limited skills against a gold medalist like Andre Ward. Oh, the left uppercut lands again, and it backs up Abraham. No answers for the king.
If you're looking for Arthur Abraham to fall down, he fought about 9 rounds against Edison Miranda with a broken jaw and got hit repeatedly and still didn't go down.
Yeah, you know, sometimes they say when a fighter guy that has more skill, sometimes will beat skill. But you got to be able to assert that will, and right now, he cannot do it.
Ooh, straight right hand got through by Ward, and that is the end of the round. Arthur Abraham, the frustration setting in. Now the second semifinal of the Super 6 World Boxing Classic is coming on Saturday, June 4th at 9 p.m. as Carl Froch takes on Glenn Johnson. Froch defending his WBC belt, and talk about the potential for a fight. Glenn Johnson's the older fighter, but as you know, Antonio, he will bring it for 12 rounds, and Carl Froch, Al, keeps getting better and better every time we see him.
It has the makings, as we've been talking about, of a style matchup that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, both styles complement each other. You got a classic boxer, puncher, counter-puncher, and you have a guy that's just a straight locomotive, man. And Glenn Johnson's going to bring it. I can't wait for June 4th.
I love Glenn Johnson. I really do. He's so much fun.
Eighth round, scheduled for 12.
And by the way, leading up to that Froch-Johnson fight, the last episode of Fight Camp 360, Pacquiao-Mosley, where we'll follow the fighters after the big event and find out what ramifications there have been from that big fight.
And that's very interesting because they never did the aftermath of the fight. And I think I'm going to watch that because I know it's going to be interesting.
I agree, Antonio.
And gentlemen, I can't understand why Arthur Abraham can't pull the trigger.
And then those numbers demonstrated only 9 punches in the last round for Arthur Abraham. He's moving forward, but this has been symptomatic of his career, as Antonio mentioned.
Hey, I'll tell you why he can't pull the trigger is because he's in there with a guy that has every tool of the game. You know, when you got a boxer, puncher, aggressive guy like Andre Ward, I mean, the guy don't know how to do anything but win. It's hard, Gus, because you play mind games with yourself. And he's just beating him at every facet of the game right now.
And what about his style? Is it crowd pleasing enough? Everybody wants him to be a crowd pleaser. He doesn't have a lot of knockouts under his belt. 13 KOs. He's not known as a knockout puncher.
Well, he may not be known as a knockout puncher, but, you know, time will tell. He has to get in the weight room, he has to muscle up, and he has to work on that power by delivering that blow and sitting down on those punches.
And there's a lot to be said for moving your hands a lot in the fight and landing lots of combinations and dazzling people with that. And Ward has done that through most of this fight. It's been just a very, very consistent effort by him.
Last time he stopped an opponent was Shelby Pudwill in September of 2009 in the 3rd round.
It was a fight we had on Showbox, and he completely dominated in that match. Arthur Abraham is now in a situation where he's going to have to open up pretty soon and do something, or this fight is going to completely get away from him. And the way he's attacking, now there was a jab by Abraham, but earlier in the fight when he was attacking behind that jab, it made him a more disciplined attacker. Now it's wild left hooks, winging right hands, not the way to attack Andre Ward. Here is some of the awkward action in the last round, and they're swinging for the fences, Antonio.
Oh, yeah. And you have to commend Arthur on trying. He's laying it all out on the line. He's leaving it all in the ring tonight.
Then you move away and you go to the beef. He just walks.
Seconds out. Okay.
Stay focused.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Ninth round, scheduled for 12. Andre Ward, the WBA super middleweight world champion in red. Arthur Abraham, longtime middleweight champion, moved up to 168 from 160 to participate in the Super 6. Right now he is being outclassed for the second time in this tournament.
And of course, Andre Durrell was doing very well against him for a good portion of the fight, but then Abraham was able to come on before he fouled Durrell. You know, there was a moment, you know, after those first few rounds we mentioned, Ward was facing some adversity. He completely turned it around since then.
And that's the mark of a good champion. You know, he's consistent in there. You know, he has different levels. And one thing I like about a young champion, he don't take any rounds on. No matter how many rounds he's ahead, he fights every minute of every second of every round.
That's a great point.
Okay, nobody throw.
That jab to the body, effective. Then he goes back upstairs. Now Arthur Abraham landing a jab. And Abraham, straight right hand to the body. When Arthur Abraham works behind his jab, he has a lot more success.
That was the best punch that Arthur Abraham has landed in a few rounds. It was a left hook. And, you know, he has to punch when he's close.
And it's not as if he hasn't had the range to punch a lot in this fight. Has not been able to land against Ward. And Ward's defense has been very good. He slipped a lot of punches.
Uppercut, left hook landing for Ward. And he jabs his way out. Textbook. And Ward, another stiff jab, sending Abraham backwards.
That last sequence was this fight in microcosm. Good punches by Ward. Abraham comes out of that shell, throws a left hook, but it misses because Ward slips it. That's what this fight has been since about the third round.
It seems like Arthur Abraham just can't find punching room. His distance has been off all night.
Oh, and a left hook to end the round by Ward.
We'll go inside the ropes, and Antonio, as we look at this, we talked about the jabbing of Andre Ward. It has been a recurring theme in this fight.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful work right there. But what I notice is that he's not only working it up top, he'll dig 1 or 2 downstairs as well. And that's what you call an educated jab.
I would say it's got a master's degree. Yeah, there he is, using that punch. And getting through the defense of Abraham and setting up things like that body shot.
Okay? And then when you want to come behind your combinations, come behind the flip. Okay, bring your legs in position, get them on, and you there and exit, okay? Commit to him and exit. He's trying to roll, drop that shot behind there, and exit. Sister, come on the shoulder, okay? Okay, you're doing great. Keep his legs moving.
Let's go.
27-year-old Andre Ward, the WBA super middleweight world title holder, looking for his place in the finals of the Super 6 as he takes on 31-year-old Arthur Abraham from Berlin, Germany. Former middleweight champion of the world, Abraham in the burgundy, and he is getting picked apart now. And it looks like Ward's punches are really starting to get more and more solid as this fight goes on.
Oh yeah, he's in his rhythm. He's relaxed, you know. And you punch harder when you're relaxed instead of tensing your body up, trying to land with all the power you have. Just let it flow, and he's flowing right now.
Right now, it seems like a million years ago, doesn't it, that Arthur Abraham was dominant in that win over Jermaine Taylor. It's been such a rough road for him since then.
Unfortunately for Jermaine Taylor, a lot of fighters have made their careers off beating him. Kelly Pavlik, Carl Froch, it was the beginning for him. Arthur Abraham.
Yeah, he had a tough spell where in all those fights, Jermaine Taylor did very good work early in the fight and then got caught late. Now there's Ward switching to lefty again. You know, I think among the fighters that switch, Antonio, I think he does it as well as anybody in the sport right now.
Well, yeah, I have to agree because I don't know too many fighters do it on a regular basis, but it works for him. You know, right now, he's having openings right now with that straight left, and maybe he wouldn't have if he was right-handed.
And he throws with the same power from that stance. Not everybody does. Wow, swelling around the right eye of Abraham. He's wearing him down right now.
He certainly is doubling up the right hand. Now Abraham trying to get inside, but there's nothing there.
And you saw Andre Ward hold on the inside. He says he's a work in progress, but I got to tell you, he's got most veteran tricks already figured out, and that's one of them.
Another straight right hand. That got through for Ward. Backs up Abraham in the corner. Southpaw style. Looks like it's confusing for Arthur Abraham. Another straight left hand to the body. Right hook for Ward.
Arthur Abraham has never been stopped, but I'll tell you, he's taking a pounding here, and there's 2 more rounds left.
And some swelling under the right eye of Abraham.
Arthur, 2 rounds. Come on. Arthur, throw some punches. You can do it, I know it. 1-2 combinations, Arthur. Come on. Throw 1-2 combinations, Arthur. Breathe, Arthur. Breathe. Come on. Arthur, come on. Come on, Arthur.
Impressive performance by the WBA super middleweight champion Andre Ward.
No.
As we begin the 11th round schedule for 12, the winner to advance to the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Final, where he will fight the winner of Glenn Johnson and Carl Froch.
That was Uli Wegner, the voice talking to Arthur Abraham, trying to do anything to get his man to get the job done. And meanwhile, Virgil Hunter in the Ward corner was telling Ward to go down to the body again. They think maybe that would make the difference.
That was a beautiful punch that Arthur Abraham just threw. It was a counter, right hand over Andre Durham's jab, and I think he needs to do more of that and follow that up with a hook. Maybe it might give him something tonight.
Yeah, that was a very good punch. Yeah, no, it was a good punch that Abraham threw, and you're right. He's got to follow up with it. The 168-pound division has many, many possibilities. And watching Andre Ward here, thinking of Froch and Johnson, thinking about Kessler and Lucien Boutet, you have to like this division.
Andre Ward, Froch, what a fight that could be. Andre Ward, Glenn Johnson, what a fight that could be.
Either way, I'll tell you. But of course, we still have a minute and a half left in this round and 3 minutes in the next round. But it will take lightning in a bottle from Arthur Abraham to change this.
And he does have that talent. He does have lightning in his right hand.
He is 9-1 in 12-round fights, Abraham. The loss to Froch, of course. And Andre Ward is 4-0 in 12-round fights.
But Antonio, as you talked to him yesterday in our meeting, you told him be a boxer, be slick, wait for the collision, use your jab, use your feet and your skills. I think he listened to you.
Yeah, it looks like he's really, this is his game. You know, a lot of times, you know, he listens to the critics. He wants to be more impressive, but he has to let it come, Gus, or you'll find yourself getting outside of who you truly are.
Has this, Al, been an impressive fight for Andre Ward?
You know, as Antonio said, he is the consummate boxer puncher, and that's what he's showing us tonight. And, you know, he's got every tool. And I'll tell you, the one punch we've seen from Andre Ward that we've seen even more of tonight is the uppercut. Oh, yeah. He has a good one, but it works against this guy.
Another good overhand right ball to Abraham.
He's trying. And you know, for Abraham, it's actually been a better effort than the Froch fight, but it just hasn't been able to get it done.
And look at Abraham in the corner. He is exhausted. Andre Ward looks like he just took a small jog.
There's the banging of heads, and Ward's head got up under Abraham's, and I think it kind of might have gone right to his jaw. Yeah. Ooh, wow, that's a rough blow there, and reminds us of the Edison Miranda fight with Arthur Abraham, where he broke his jaw, and they clashed heads a lot.
You stay alert. I want this preventer, okay? Quit dangling it when he's near you, okay? Keep it up. Okay, looking for one. All right, let's go,
Come on, Arthur. Come on, last round. You can do it.
They touch gloves to begin the 12th and final round here at the Super 6 World Boxing Classic semifinal. The winner to advance to the final. And also, this is for the WBA Super Middleweight World Championship. Andre Ward, the champion in red. Arthur Abraham, the challenger in burgundy.
For Arthur Abraham, what a conundrum. He told us he would never move back down to 160. So he is, if he's going to be at 168, this is going to be a tough road to hoe for him.
Another good jab by Ward, right hook, followed by an uppercut.
And for Andre Ward now, the trick is just don't let something terrible happen in the 12th round.
And you know how you prevent that from happening? you stay in the fight. You don't take a round off. You don't take a breather. You stay in there mentally and physically, and that's what I see in Andre Ward. He's fighting to the end. It's beautiful.
Okay, nobody throw, nobody throw. Okay, nobody throw, nobody throw.
Left hook by Abraham. Another left hook by Abraham.
And Ward traded left hooks with him. That's a mistake. Now some swelling around the right eye of Ward. Wow. Dramatic moment.
1:17 to go in the 12th. Straight jab by Ward.
Boy, as frustrating as has been tonight for Abraham, he still has the guts and the heart to try for this big punch that he needs to turn this fight around.
That is really a very valid point. And you know, Andre Ward has two tools that would allow him to get through a round like this. Good jab,
nice right hand,
and his ability to hold. And throwing the right hand isn't bad either.
Andre Ward likely well ahead on all the scorecards, but you like what you've seen from him in this 12th round. He hasn't run around the ring.
Right. And that's what these young fighters and champions need to know, that the fight isn't over until it's over.
And he put himself in a position where he could get hit with a couple left hooks, and he has been, but he has gotten through that. And with only seconds remaining, all he needs to do, in all likelihood, is stay on his feet.
13 seconds to go. Andre Ward, Arthur Abraham going the distance. And that's it. A smile and a hug.
I would think Andre Ward and Virgil Hunter have to believe this is a performance that they are very happy with, and one of the most complete he's probably ever had in his career.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely, you know, they came into this fight worrying about the critics, what they would say. Look, man, just win, just win, just win. And looking at this style fight, it's going to take a great fighter to beat Andre Ward.
I agree, because he showed defensive skills that were impressive as well. And we look at the numbers in this fight. One of the significant numbers, the amount of jabs thrown and landed by Andre Ward, that helped control this fight. And of course, he threw over 100 punches more than Arthur Abraham. That also is a key element. And
I'm surprised that combos landed was only 2 advantage for Ward. I don't know. I beg to differ on that one.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not sure about that one.
That's right. Hell of a job. You killed us on there.
Can you give us, Al, an idea of the future for this man, Arthur Abraham?
It's problematic because he's had 3 losses in a row. He won't go down to 160. He said under any circumstances he won't. He may want to rethink that, because 160 is probably a better weight for him. He could probably still go down there and win a world championship, and especially because tonight he gave an effort. So tonight they know he tried his best. So I think he can go back there, and those German fans and the European fans will respect his effort.
And how about Andre Ward?
Well, for me, Andre Ward, the sky's the limit. I mean, this is the fight right here that he showed everybody he had everything it takes to be a great champion. He's defended his title now 3 times, and guess what? He's waiting on the winner of Carl Froch and Glenn Johnson. That should be possibly a Fight of the Year type of action.
All right, we're set for the official announcement, so let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Stanley Christodoulou, scores about 120 to 108. Judge Ingo Baraba sees it 118 to 110. and Dr. James Jenkins scores the bout 118 to 111. All three in favor of the winner. Continuing to the finals of the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. And still, the WBA Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Andre S.O.G. Ward.
Andre Ward wins a unanimous decision over Arthur Abraham to improve his record to 24-0. He's 4-0 now in the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. And he now advances to the final. Let's go back inside the ring where our Jim Gray is standing by with the world champion and the finalist.
All right, Gus, thank you very much. Andre, congratulations to you. You seem to overcome very early in the fight some adversity.
Yeah.
What changed the direction of this fight after that third round?
And I knew that Arthur was very strong. I mean, everybody I talked to that fought him, either personally or just through the media, they said he was a hard hitter, and they're right. He is very hard. He's very awkward. He's very strong. He's a champion. I expected that, and I just kept telling myself, we're going home with these belts tonight.
And you went to the body. You told us in the meeting you would. When did you determine that that was going to be effective? Because he seemed to tire after the sixth round.
I'll be honest. I mean, the referee did a great job. I felt like I could have worked. I wish he would have let me work a little bit more inside. I felt like I could have, weakened Arthur. That was part of our game plan. But again, just like in the Beaker fight, we showed we can win ugly. Tonight, we showed we can win, in a way that was other than our original game plan.
Andre, how much did you learn from watching Abraham fight Carl Froch?
Well, it was definitely a blueprint, but I knew that I'm a totally different fighter, different reach, different height, different style, so it wasn't going to be the exact same fight, or the Darrell fight for that matter. So I knew that I wasn't going to take too much stock from that, even though it was a good blueprint.
Was this your most complete fight?
I don't think so. I have to watch it on tape and see. I'm happy with the victory. I thank God for the victory. I thank God for everybody that was praying for me. We're going to the finals, baby.
If you don't think so, where is it? You tell us all the time you're still growing. Where is it that you need to grow?
Just overall, I see myself shuffling, doing boatload punches, putting on a show while I'm winning. And I want to get to that point. I know you can't do that every fight. That's not a reality, but a W is not a bad thing on any given day.
Well, now we've got Johnson against Froch, June 4th, the other semifinal. How do you see that fight, Andre?
I think that's a 50-50 fight. You never count Glenn Johnson out. Carl Froch is a warrior, and I'm just looking forward to the winner in the finals, baby.
Congratulations to you, Andre. Terrific performance.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in Arthur, and Johannes Berndt will interpret for us. How does he assess his performance tonight? He was so confident he was going to win that yesterday he said he guaranteed it, and again tonight. What happened?
Du warst sehr zuversichtlich, hast einen Sieg garantiert. Wie schätzt du deine Leistung heute ein? Was ist passiert?
Ich habe gekämpft und ich habe auch alles gegeben. War schwierig. Und aber ich habe auch so hoch ihn auch nicht gesehen. Verstehe ich nicht.
I fought hard. I gave it all. I came here to fight, and I don't see it. I think that it was that high, the verdict. I didn't see it that high.
Hat nicht mal klare Treffer gesetzt.
He didn't hit me clearly.
He got off very quickly. He had a very quick start. What changed the direction of this, and did he get tired seemingly when Andre started going to the body and after the sixth round?
Du hast sehr gut angefangen, sehr schnell angefangen. Was hat sich dann geändert? Oder bist du müde geworden, nachdem Andre Ward zum Körper geschlagen hat?
Überhaupt nicht. Seine Schläge auf Körper habe ich alles geblockt. Bloß ich war zu verkrampft. Ich wollte ihn K.O. schlagen. Deswegen vielleicht bin ich zu fest geworden.
No, I blocked his shots to my body well, but I didn't really ease up. I wanted too much. I tried to go for the knockout, and I couldn't get it.
How disappointing is this for him? Seemingly came into this Super 6 as one of the champions, and now he's lost 3 fights in a row.
Wie enttäuschend ist das für dich? Du bist als einer der Favoriten ins Turnier gestartet, hast jetzt 3-mal verloren in Folge.
War schlecht. Ich bin auch nicht zufrieden. Ist traurig.
I'm sad. I'm not happy about this. I'm sad.
Will he consider now going back down to middleweight?
Willst du jetzt überlegen, wieder ins Mittelgewicht zurückzugehen?
Nein, ich bleibe im Supermittelgewicht.
No, I'll stay at super middleweight.
Arthur, thank you. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, American people. Thank you, American fans. And hello to Germany, everybody, and to Armenian people.
Thank you, Arthur. All right, Gus, back down to you.
And thank you very much, Jim. Joined by my partners, Al Bernstein and Antonio Tarver. Let's take a look at the scoring, and we'll start, Al, with press row.
The official scores first, and you see that a huge margin for Andre Ward by every one of the judges. Stanley Christodoulou scoring every round for Andre Ward. Yeah, it was a dominant performance by Ward. He just controlled virtually every round. Then the press row scoring was very similar. 118, 110, 118, 110. In fact, all the way along. And Gunnar Meinhardt from Die Welt also scored a 118, 110. I had it that way, and Antonio.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Same score.
So a unanimous decision for Andre Ward as he remains undefeated. He advances to the final, and guys, he is waiting for the winner of Carl Froch, Glenn Johnson, June 4th, coming to you on Showtime from Atlantic City. All right, Gus Johnson, Al Bernstein, and Antonio Tarver. Magic Man, we'll start with you. You talked to Andre Ward about using his boxing skills. He certainly did just that tonight.
And he did it like effortless. I mean, he was in his groove. He had a couple rough spots early on, but he pulled it together, and that's what makes him such a great champion. He has all the tools. He's a boxer, counterpuncher, and also, if you want to get dirty with Andre Ward, he can do that too.
And Al, Andre Ward is concerned about, in a sense, his image. He wants to be a great fighter. He wants to have exciting fights. Do you see the knockouts coming after watching him this evening against a very defensive Arthur Abraham?
You know, I don't know if that's an issue now. You know, we talk about that a lot, and we say you need to knock out people to market yourself. But I think people like what we saw tonight as well. They like lots of action. They like combinations. And I think Andre Ward, in his development now, is going about this exactly the right way.
Now, on June 4th from Atlantic City, we'll get an opportunity to see the veteran Glenn Johnson take on Carl Froch. And Carl Froch has climbed many, many mountains in this tournament. His skill level continues to increase. Very similar to the man we saw today.
Yes. Yeah, and similar because of what Antonio said. Carl Froch has a couple of different ways to go in every fight. He has mad boxing skills that I think maybe everybody didn't recognize at first, and he's got a huge chin, and he can brawl with you. So he's got a lot of things going on, and we know that he'll face, as Antonio calls him, the locomotive in Glenn Johnson.
Al Bernstein, folks, you heard it. Mad boxing.
Yeah, me and Randy, that's what we say.
Right. Antonio, you fought Glenn Johnson twice. He won one, you won one. Johnson, a dark horse in this tournament, but he can really bang.
I'll call him a live underdog. You know, Glenn Johnson is one of those fighters, man. He'll beat guys that has more skill because of his will. He's determined, and he's relentless. You know, and if you're not in your best shape, he'll run you out of the ring. And also, Glenn Johnson, I was surprised that he made the transition to 168. I thought he'll be weak. I didn't know if he can carry the weight, but he's right at home at 168. And he put everyone on standby and on notice when he knocked out Alan Green. So it's going to be a tough fight, and I can't wait to June 4th.
Well, great fight this evening. A spectacle last week, Al, when Sugar Shane Mosley faced Manny Pacquiao. And some people feel that Pacquiao didn't have his best night. Your feeling?
You know, it's funny, and watching it again tonight, I was going to say a B effort before. It was a B plus effort. Maybe not an A, but I'll tell you what, he got a lot done in that fight. And I think part of the reason why I couldn't get everything done, obviously, was the defensive posture of Mosley in fighting after he got hurt. And the other one was, I think that muscle spasm in his leg did have some impact on Manny Pacquiao and affected him pushing off and also his movement a bit in that fight. But I'll tell you what, watching it again, he got a lot of work done in that fight.
All right, Champ, your feelings on Pacquiao's performance?
I'm not going to totally disagree with Al, but I think the reason that we didn't have a Manny Pacquiao type of fight that we're normally used to seeing is because Shane Mosley admitted himself he felt that power early, and he didn't want to venture off into the unknown. That means he didn't want to get knocked out for the first time in his career. And that's unfortunately, but he did everything he could to prevent from getting knocked out. So in those middle rounds, it wasn't about upsetting Manny Pacquiao. It was about not getting out and surviving, unfortunately.
So for Manny Pacquiao, hard to look good against a man that was fighting defensive. Well, folks, stay tuned. Coming up next, it's an encore presentation of Inside NASCAR. For more on all Showtime Sports telecasts, log on to our website, sports.show.com. Also, you can fan us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for real-time news and information. Big night of boxing as we recap the action from Carson, California. First, the rebroadcast of Manny Pacquiao, Shane Mosley. Pacquiao knocking him down in the 3rd round. He had a calf injury, but he retains his title with a unanimous decision. Will Floyd Mayweather be next? We all hope so. And tonight, Andre Ward continues to show his skill. The Olympic gold medalist putting his combinations together, outclassing Arthur Abraham for a unanimous decision. He punches a ticket into the Super 6 World Boxing Classic final, as well as retain his world title. For Al Bernstein, Antonio Tarver, Jim Gray, and our entire crew here in California, Gus Johnson saying so long, everybody. You've been watching Showtime Championship Boxing.